Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tatianna Anissa. Welcome to the fam. I've had so many of you leave comments saying that you're new to the channel, and I am just so happy that you're here. So thank you so much for subscribing. So a few of you were asking if I was going to be reviewing and trying out this baby right here, the new REM Beauty Sweetener Foundation. I had every intention on trying out this foundation for you, but my Ultas didn't get it in store on launch day. They only had the lighter shades. They didn't have the deep shades. And then the Ulta app and website was not working. I could not place any orders. I actually placed an order of this on launch day. They took the money out of my account, but I never received the foundation. They ended up, just giving me my money back because the order never went through, even though the money was out of my account. It was a whole thing, but I finally went in store days later and got the foundation. We are gonna do a wear test today. I've already tried this foundation. I haven't worn it and really see, the full effects of it. Let's get into it. I have an unexpected friend. I swear when I went to bed last night, this was not here. Who told this to come to the video? Here is the foundation right here. This retails for $35, which for a celebrity, brand, $35 is pretty nice. Now, this packaging is a plastic packaging. It's not glass. I do think the packaging is very different and really sleek because it's like, oh, it kind of looks like a little concealer, but then when you turn it, it's like, bam! It's a foundation. So the shade that I picked up is Deep 5NG. I was very skeptical about this shade. I did not know if the shade was gonna work for me, but I do think it's a pretty good shade match. So let's get into a little bit about this foundation. This has a natural matte finish, which for my oily skin people, this one's for you. But what's also really cool about this is that there's skincare infused in here. So here are the claims of this foundation. It says it's clinically proven to hydrate instantly and up to 4 weeks. It is fueled by REM Hydra Smooth Essence with raspberry leaf extract and hyaluronic acid. This foundation comes in 60 shades, which, Ari, you did good there. She did really good. So there's something for everyone. You're bound to find your perfect shade. It might take a little minute to do it, but your shade has to be there. I got lucky and found a good shade on the first try. Though there is 60 shades, it wasn't really hard to figure out what range and shade I would be in because of how they kind of laid it out. So I really like that about it. Consciously made, vegan, and cruelty-free. REM Beauty gave us the sweetener concealer last year, I believe, and I love this concealer. So I have mine in the shade Deep 1 Neutral. This concealer is my favorite multi-use concealer. I use this for an eye primer to carve my brows. I cannot live without this concealer. As you can see, I've made quite the dip in mine, but I really love this concealer. Yeah, since we're doing a wear test, I am going to prime, of course. I'm gonna treat this foundation very fair. So I'm going in with my Danessa mryicks Blurring Balm Powder in the areas I get most oily, which is my T-zone. This is a tried and true primer for me. I cannot live without this primer. I'm not even kidding. It's so good. And I feel like I've done a lot of wear tests on my channel where you guys have seen how this Blurring Balm powder holds up throughout the day. So it is truly a tried and true. It's very much proven on my channel what this primer does for me. Then I'm gonna go in with the Caliray So Blown Primer. I'm just gonna place this basically here on the pores just to add a little bit of blurring to the skin. Let's go in with this. I'm going to take about, let's see, maybe a pump. Let's do 2 pumps actually. Hold on, that wasn't a full pump. 2 pumps I feel like is good. This coverage is pretty, it's a lot of coverage. So I'm gonna do one side with a foundation brush, and then on the other side, I'm going to do a sponge, but we're just gonna do the brush first. I'm gonna use my BK Beauty 101 brush to blend this in. Like I said, this is not a first impression, and so I have tried this, I just haven't tested this, if that makes sense. And do you see the coverage that this gives? This is a lot of coverage. I don't know what I was expecting from REM Beauty, but I don't know, like the coverage on this foundation is so good, and I also feel like I did a pretty decent job with the shade match. I don't feel like I need to go back and buy a different shade. I feel like I can definitely make this shade work. But this is one side of my face with the foundation. This is not a natural looking foundation. I feel like if you were to wear this out, it doesn't look makeup-y, like cakey or anything like that on the skin. But if you were to wear this out, I feel like someone would know that it's foundation, if that makes sense. It's not a super natural foundation. It does have like that matte finish, which I love, but I just feel like it looks like I am wearing foundation, but it's not cakey. So I don't want you to think it's gonna look cakey on the skin. It just doesn't have like that natural kind of finish. Love the coverage of this. I love how lightweight this feels. It doesn't feel heavy on the skin. And I love how this applies with a brush. Now, let's try it out with a sponge because I feel like a sponge is probably going to soak up a lot more of the product. So let's see if it kind of alters the finish of this, because sometimes, depending on the foundation, sometimes the product that you use to apply it alters the finish of it and how it looks on the skin. I have not used a sponge to blend out my foundation in a hot minute. Ugh, I kind of miss a sponge. It's so quick and so easy. I do feel like the sponge definitely does soak up that product, but I do feel like if you want a less is more kind of effect and look, then you might prefer using a sponge with this if you're going more every day. But then if you're going like night out or to a party and you really want to like give yourself a full beat, then maybe the sponge to give you that more coverage with the foundation. I do feel like I have more coverage on this side of my skin, so I might build up a second layer just to kind of even out. Yeah, let me build up a little tiny bit more just to kind of even this side out, because I feel like there's less, you know, there's less on this side. I think it looks really, really pretty. I feel like I did a really good job with this shade match. Definitely not an everyday kind of foundation. I don't get that vibe from this, but I feel like it sits beautiful on the skin. What do you guys think? I think it's really pretty. When I first tried this foundation, I liked it and I like it now. I just really want to see how this is going to wear. I want to get to the point where this is a foundation I would trust wearing to a party, to a concert, something like that. So this foundation really has to get put to the test. I have been trying so hard to get into tea. I've been drinking green tea morning and night, and I don't put anything in it. Just, you know, I don't put honey or anything like that in it. And maybe that's why I don't like it that much, but I'm like forcing myself to drink this green tea because I like that it helps to detox a little bit. I'm gonna speed this part up and then we're gonna get this wear test started. Alright, so the makeup is done. This foundation does not give everyday foundation kind of vibes. This definitely does give, you know, full glam, maybe even soft glam vibes with coverage. So for everyday, this is not a foundation I would reach for, but if I'm going for a full glam look, I feel like this would have me covered. But I think everything looks really good. I'm excited to get this wear test started. It is currently 1:43. Also, this picture, you guys, I just think it's so funny, but it's 1:43. I am getting a little bit of a later start, but that is okay. We're gonna go through it. We're gonna go through the motions. So yeah, I will check in with you guys in a couple of hours. So it is 6:52 and I'm thinking I'm gonna end the wear test right here because I'm ready to take this makeup off and get in the bed early today now that I have the chance. I don't do any touch-ups throughout the day, so you can really see how the product has held up after a couple of hours. I feel like this still looks really fresh, except with the little bit of settling that we have here, like just a little bit of settling here and around my mouth. But other than that, this wears really well. It looks really nice. Like I said, this is not an everyday foundation. This is something that I would grab when I want to go full glam or maybe do like a soft glam look, but when I want a lot of coverage. This is not going to be an everyday foundation if you're just out the door. This doesn't feel heavy on the skin, so I do love that. But as far as like the coverage that you're going to get, this covers, and I like that. And if you have oily skin, I do feel like you should definitely give this a try. Yes, I have primer on and everything like that, but primer is not the only thing that's gonna help your makeup to last longer. Foundation has to wear good itself. I do feel like this foundation kind of shows quite a bit of texture. I don't feel like it does any justice for, you know, texture or anything like that. Overall, I still feel like this looks really good and I'm very happy with how this wore. Definitely let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think of this foundation? Is it on your wish list? Let your girl know, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye guys.